And we're in here. Apparently a name change over on one side as it's apparently looking for organization in the server. A classic one. They may want to find some amusing abbreviation for that because when you try and search for that on Wikipedia, you get about a million options.
I think that might just be a face-it naming issue, Mike. They are with Unjustified.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, that'll be unfortunate if that's just going to be the same all season long. We'll get it sorted out. You know, migrating leagues, there's some things that can need to be resolved. Well, let's see if they're going to resolve this B-take, because Utility's sailing over right now. We got Manx and Swisher as site partners, at least on this pistol round, and Swisher with the dualies. Going to have a chance to fry. He's got one. He's got two. It's Manx actually second.
Oh.
And he's gunned down, out of bullets run down. So a 3-on-3 here as Wolf trying to secure some space. Wolf actually sliding around coffins, getting a bit of tag damage onto Seb. He'll have to wait for his teammates to get involved in the action. We have a bit of a pause in this pistol round here.
Yeah, Mobs is trying to get some information here towards New Box, and he does see one, but Wolfie is waiting over at Coffins, also having a peek. Mobs finally gets a couple of visibility there. He gets a headshot onto one as his teammate pitches in onto Wolf, and then Mobs the final blow on Seb. There we go. Nice little retake as M80 take the first round.
They gave Mobs exactly what he wanted there, right? You could tell what he was trying to do. They identified the positioning, they identified the location, and based on the player in pool and the player in New Box, Mobs played them like a fiddle. His teammates could take the concentration from the player still towards Banana. That player probably shouldn't have peeked, probably should have bought time as long as possible, but I understand the temptation there. But in the overeagerness to deal with the tree player, to try and move on, to deal with the double coffin presence, they play right into Mob's hands. That was very nicely done. Very nicely done from the Guatemalan.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, good for Unjustified to at least get the bomb plant, though, because they managed to crack through it, which was a pretty tough defense on the other side. Wolfie going to toss a nade down the middle, flashbang as well, just trying to get some utility thrown out there. Lake, the receiver of it, has to back off momentarily. As it stands, the battle for Banana continues. Molotov thrown by DJF. And you have Wolf going through into the apartments. Now, Wolf's an interesting one because he had actually retired, Mike, and I don't know if we're going to get a chance to talk about this, but he had retired because he had so much going on in his real life, but they made an arrangement with Unjustified. Apparently, he's being allowed to play part-time. He's still going to play in all the matches, but he might not be present for all the practices.
It's an interesting one. There's a real Ferrari peek out from Lake. Nicely done. Good damage out from Wolfie, but damage is not going to be the key here. Oh, though might be able to take advantage. Some damage coming through, but only one kill. There it is. Wreck in the pit. He strikes. Ooh, nice kill from Wreck. A bomb plant might be best case scenario now for Cyrix, forced out by the Molotov, and Wreck is there to collect. A steady presence in the pit. Let's talk about Wreck, John, because I think he's a player who hasn't gotten enough shine. He came into ATK as a stand-in during a time of tumult, right, where they had players out of the Odin not playing from the US, players not in location, a lot of turnover, and then he just stuck around into that roster, became a really reliable presence for them as an anchor player, which seems to be the role that he's playing again here in M80. I think you see him in towards the pit side, and he's still so young. I mean, has he even turned 19 yet, John?
He is 19, yes.
Okay, that's recent. That's recent, because as of the spring, he was still just a spry 18-year-old, so...
It's... Oh, wow. What a shot from Cyrix here onto Swisher. We got a 3v3. Just the pistols coming through for Unjustified, but so far they're making some noise. Yeah, no, Rek, it feels like he should be older than he is when you look at the experience he has. It's his 11th season in ECL. He's been a mainstay in the league for quite some time, at least over the last 2, maybe even 3 years. So it's just impressive.
It's really exciting because he's a guy where you kind of forget how young he is, based on the amount that we've been watching him. I mean, going back to teams like the Monstars, Secret Club, I mean Rebirth. It's just he's played on a million different rosters, and it's really cool to see him now finally get what I would say is hopefully more reliable organizational support, right? Because I think that he's not, in most of his teams, he's not the flashiest player because that's by design. It's just not his game. But anchors, reliable pieces, guys who can be there, be the solid backbone of a team. They're the kind of players that NA rosters are so often missing. 3 players, very low, trying to get in towards this B side, and based on the positioning of Wolfie, they may not expect Manx. Oh, they don't know. They don't know. The bomb skips up, it gets caught, but immediately they get put down. Nice combo there from Manx and Wolfie. Wolfie baiting in for his in-game leader, and then Manx springing the trap.
Wow, just well played from both the players. Obviously just an eco round coming through from Unjustified, but a couple of nice shots made it a little trickier for M80. They took their foot off the gas for a moment, played it more passively, and a nice little bait and switch that they pulled off at the B site to give themselves a 3rd round. Now here comes the first full-on buy, or close to full-on buy for Unjustified. They do have to settle for a couple of deagles, but it will be 3 AKs and full util otherwise. On M80, well, they're able to maybe build a little bit of economy in their bank as they got a couple of Galils picked up off the ground. Wolfie's got the big green in his hands, and he has really been solid with that. When he first came back to NA, Mike, it was a little shaky, right? Didn't look like the same player we had seen in a few seasons past, but now he's starting to find his rhythm with this new roster.
Yeah, he is, and that's really encouraging because to me, he was one of the pieces where, you know, to be honest, I think part of his inclusion into this roster was probably about maintaining the ATK core in order to get their slots, right? He hadn't impressed in his time back with ATK, but
not really.
I also know that he had maybe still been working, not really had the same ability to practice, you know, and we had seen the skill both in his stints in in Europe with teams like Ecstatic Rising and Ecstatic actually, and also in his time on in North America with the Swedish Canadians and all those rosters. There's some serious talent here, and if he could start to shine, this team is that much more dangerous. Couple kills, one coming from the aforementioned Wolfie. And now we've got a 3-man push in towards B once again. Haven't had a lot of success with these. They've kind of forced out of everything else. 35 seconds left to go. They got to make a move. Manx caught. Wolfie's here with the AWP. Ooh, he's going to be taken down with just one more. Now this is a problem. Good damage through the smoke, but the bomb plant likely conceded. So this is looking a lot more doable for looking for organization or Unjustified. It's going to throw me for a little bit. DJF and Cyrus, can they make this happen? The AWP up on the DJF. Bogdan's Law in full effect on that one. It might just allow him to have some bit more impact. They're waiting for Rek to get in a position here on Banana. He's going to set up the util. Here comes the flash. Now they make their moves. No Molotov to force them out. DJF down immediately. That's the problem. They know exactly where Cyrix is, but they line up! Basically for the price of 1, and Cyrix makes it happen from the new box. All 3 collected, and like that, Unjustified are on the board.
Wow. I mean, look, Cyrix, pretty strong player. In fact, before the addition of Wolf, he was one of their top fraggers, kind of took a backseat to Wolf and Lake in the latter part of last season, but man, he can perform, and they lined up for him, of course, so that helps when you have 2 players literally for 1 with that AK bullet going through the domes of both of them. So well done from Cyrix clutching that out. I thought M80 had a 4th round in the bag, but here we go. Unjustified finally getting one on the board.
I mean, that was a 5-on-3, right?
Yeah.
Should have been, but not to be. Wolfie does collect early here, so another opener. But if they can build on this is a huge opportunity for Unjustified. Not starting off the way you want it to, but at least the op's been retrieved. Cyrix will work his way with the big green to see what he can do.
Cyrix is the primary opera, of course, for Unjustified. So he got those frags with the rifle that time, but now he's got the big green, as you mentioned, Mike. He's going to be going up against Wolfie, who already has the first frag in this round. Mobs looking around from Pit, Rek over on balcony. Trying to set up a trap. Rek gets an opener here for his squad over at this A site. Wolf goes down, and now a 5v3 materializes, making a 5v2, and this isn't the greatest buy-up for M80, Mike.
Oh, no, it's not at all, but they haven't even revealed the 2 pistols, right? So they've seen the MP9. They've seen a little bit here, and now Swisher will get collected. He was trying to slip into the cubby, and the smoke faded maybe a bit earlier than he anticipated, but he finds both players. Reliable information. Unjustified, they just hit the pause button. To great effect. The second swing in, though. That's what Manx was looking for. It's all on a Cyrix now. 30 seconds. He has to commit back in towards this site. And he knows he's got 1 here, but I don't know if he's aware that Rek is still up in the pit. This crossfire is going to be very tough to break. Here comes the swing. And Rek, sure enough, shots in the back. gets it secured. Rifles can be picked up. They just lost effectively in the wash 2 5.7s there and upgraded an SMG. That is a great recovery round for M80, and it all starts with that Wolfie ult.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Right off the bat, Wolfie gets that frag, gives the team the 5v4, and then they can settle in. They don't have to chase any further, and they wait for Unjustified to come to them. And frags come through. Everyone holds strong, and they keep 3 rifles from that previous round, which is incredible. They just decided to force up around the AWP, and you can't really blame them. It was the first round they lost, so why not gamble a little bit? And it was a very good one indeed. As now they head into round number 6 with their 3-round lead restored, and they've forced Unjustified onto pistols. We might have a fight here over at Banana very shortly, but the smoke is delaying things enough.
There's a tick.
For Unjustified, yeah, I was going to say for Unjustified to fall back, and yeah, that tick might give away some information.
I'm not sure if Freck was quite close enough to hear that tick, but either way, the smoke goes down. They look like they're going to mass to try and wrap Arch. Wolfie's here with the AWP. Pistols might be able to overwhelm. Should be able to shot and drop. And now he's got the spot, but the shot's not going to land. Not going to want that re-peek. They won't take advantage of the space just yet. Could be where there'd be a player in the arches. So instead, they'll try and work their way up short. Molotovs come down to stall this out. Time's going to get short again. There's no utility here whatsoever. But M80, they're running out of their own nades. Oh, the re-clear in. This is bold from Wolfie, but he is taking the space. This is going to be information on. They're going to be again. And this is likely a read based on how often Unjustified have hedged towards those banana takes. Now they clean up the lurk, so there's no more threat on this A site. But this is interesting because Manx and Swisher are set up to be wary of the CT wrap, right? They knew that was a possibility. Now Swisher can't get him the first spray, but he does. Oh, so much they all line up. Manx comes in for the last tap. Swisher was out of bullets, but it's going to be clean. 5 alive means the bank builds.
Wow, just a great hold there from Swisher. Oftentimes things can go very awry when you got 4 pistols barreling down in your direction, but Swisher holds strong, gets a 3K spread, and I think Mank started to get into the mix. Obviously got that last frag, but he was also peppering some bullets towards the Unjustified squad. So the anti-eco does not go awry. They get their 5th. And we move on. One player to watch out for here on this T side. These new entries is Lake. Last season, he led the squad by far in terms of opening frags with 69 of them. Behind him was Cyrix at 36, and there he goes again. There's an entry, or an opener, I should say, in his favor on Swisher to give his team a 5v4.
That was really about the player bottom, but then I think that was Lake. I'm not actually exactly sure, but spamming through the smoke, right? Some bullet tags gave Swisher's position away and also slowed his momentum. So he kind of got stuck between a rock and a hard place. Molotov behind him, so he can't really go back. And also he knows he's sold up river. So really a tough spot, but very well done. Good use of the utility, good use of the spam to isolate the fights, but now Rhett gets aggressive, takes the initiative here. It's well done. Lake's here. That space is lost. They're going to give it up. They're going to go back into it as this B hit. It's just Manx to hold. He doesn't have the utility either. Util support's trying to come in quickly in the form of mobs. There's a flash for this peak. It's a little off timing, and as a result of it, Cyrix is going to have enough vision when they come through. That's, new teammates figuring out the timing on the utility, but finally an advantage here for Unjustified in a post plant. This one could just be a save. I think this might even need to be. Giving it a look. There's the first kill. Now they need to be out of here. AK picked up. Mobs knows he's stuck. Wolfie says, hey, you're on your own, bud. I am out. Not losing this up. No way, no how, Buster.
Oh, there's no way.
That was optimistic from Mobs.
Yeah.
Didn't really have a choice on it, though.
No, you got to move eventually. You could have waited a little bit longer, perhaps, but yeah, that's just what can you do? Because you have to get away from the bomb. You need some space gained, and it's just so difficult. And he threw his flashbang and hoped it would blind them enough, but it was impossible. He just got taken down.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to pin, pull, and pray. What kind of buy we got here? It's a decent one, I think. One gun gets dropped over. Yeah, okay. It's all right. It's better than their 5.7 round. 2 MP9s, not ideal. But they can make this work.
Yeah. Depends where you play them, but I think they'll be okay.
It's another opportunity for Unjustified, though. Right, they've got each of their 1 rounds so far have left them with this prime opportunity to break the eco of M80. Just need to chain a couple together here, and suddenly it's anyone's game.
DJF waiting patiently here at the bottom of Banana with Lake. They have gained the space, and it's kind of being given to them by M80, who are conceding Banana at this point. It's just up to Unjustified to realize that that is being given to them. Manx jiggle peeking back and forth for some information. Flashbang going to get tossed, and there we go. Now they're going to toss the util forward, a smoke and a Molotov. Comes the nade and lands at the feet of DJF and Lake, doing so much damage. Obviously, M80 doesn't know it, but that will help as we head into the latter part of this round.
Yeah, you can see it's made them timid towards Banana. They're backing way off of it. They want to take the space mid, but it's a good setup. Smoke's to clear. Molotov in as well. Smoke preempts that. Sets up Wolfie for a shot. And now the bodies are dropping. Maybe a little overzealous there from Mobs. Rek has to be careful. Has to keep his Opera alive. If he gets caught, big problems. But Wolfie. Oh, they're never going to expect him to regress. They actually are ready for it. Good heads-up awareness from Lake. Bomb's going to go down. It's a 2-on-2. Health is concerning for Unjustified, but this is winnable. And he's coming in the angle. Gonna be a straight fight, and he's won it. All on a Cyrix now. Has the big green. Gets the first. Second coming from the same angle, but Cyrix will not miss. Quick on that trigger. He's the hot hand right now. And he may have just propelled Unjustified into this half.
Oh, a 1v3 before that to give Unjustified their second round, then a 1v2 clutch there to secure their third. Well done from Cyrix. I mean, that wasn't an easy situation he was in, right? 2 rifles coming up against the op. You have to hit that first. If he misses that first shot, it's probably curtains for him. But he hits it and then sets himself up for a 1v1. Aggresses again, which might not have been expected by M80. And, well, there you have it. Now, we're talking about it, Mike. M80's economy has finally been broken. So they're going to be on a full-on eco. They've only got a Deagle, a 5.7, and a Flashbang. Everyone else on USPs, and they're gambling towards what might be the wrong site because Unjustified are already pushed up to top Banana.
Gotta gamble something. Unjustified have shown a little bit of timidity when they get in towards sites. You know, a little poke in the prod. Understandable for an Inferno, and seeing no resistance this time, there's no reason to be timid. Okay, Lake sees nothing. He's calling out to his teammates. Okay, I think they stacked A. Should be good here. Let's just exec. Make sure. So smokes go through. This seems like it's going to be a nothing burger of a round. Wolf collected means an AK could make its way out of this. Justified will take it in towards the site. Ooh, careful here on this peak, Cyrix. Careful. Gonna get the first. Damage on. He's a goner. And indeed he is. Oh, picked up. They can't lose this round. Can't let this get out of hand. Balls with the peak. Oh, he's taken down. Good patience from Lake. And now at this point, the guns withdraw. No kits. No utility to speak of. But they get away with a lot. An AWP, an AK, a smoke, 1 set of armor. For an eco, for a just about full eco, that's a pretty good find.
Oh, yeah. I mean, honestly, it could have easily been the round. We know how lethal Mobs can be with that Deagle. If he hits one shot or gets one chance to find a frag and then he gets it, the rest of the players are going to charge right in. But because they lose their presence on the opposite side of the map, they say, okay, we got to pull the plug now. This is way too valuable for us to throw away. The op will be thrown over for Wolfie, of course. The AK can be passed on to someone else, and then you buy up around the rest. So it is a 4th round for Unjustified, but a costly one for them as their economy is still looking pretty okay. It could have been better, though, with a cleaner round victory there. Manx and Rek going to settle for the FAMASs. And the A1S is the other rifle that's bought up. They really wanted that full util set.
It's interesting to keep the money on Wolfie as well for the AWP. So they're okay playing with the FAMAS. Because, I mean, an M4 could have been dropped over. We'll see if the lesser firepower comes back to haunt them. DJF catching a kill, a second as well. DJF double entry here on Banana. They served himself up to him on a silver platter. Now big trouble. Mobs is just getting into the action. Ooh, this is risky. They really want this fight. There's the flash, there's the peak, there's the kill, but the trade is there. And so it is not in the favor of M80. Just 2 players remaining. They're going to try and group and hold A, and, well, admittedly, that's actually where Unjustified's headed. There's a chance at least to fight for this, but if it's a clean sweep for Unjustified right now, this is tough. Spray down. Wreck got 2 off of that. Unreal. Down to the clutch. Spotted on. Bomb's not down. Lake will have to make the move. Wolfie sticking to the sidearm. And he's caught. Lake gained altitude, and he brings him low. Beautifully done there from Lake in the clutch. 3 big kills on the round, and that's impact, because once again, M80, their economy is a little bit shaky. And suddenly, this was 5-1. This is 4 in a row, John.
Yeah, a little dicey there, of course, in terms of economy. I think they're still going to be able to scrounge by together. But yeah, it was 5-1, 4 rounds in a row. Found for the Unjustified squad. And I mean, Cyrix really has helped catapult them there with those 2 clutches. Now he's given his team a chance to really spread their wings. And DJ up there with those first 2 was quite impressive. Not usually the player they look to get those entries, but they're happy he found them. DJF, once more, the tip of the spear here. Peering around, looking for some contact. Look at the other side for M80. I mean, that was a really nice attempted recovery by Rek. He got a couple there with the Famas from balcony. Eventually gets traded out, but the 1v1 for Wolfie, he just took a step in the wrong direction. I mean, Lake had more ability to maneuver around and get that altitude than Wolfie did.
Looks like we're going to get a little bit of a B-poke here. There's 3 players here this time. We haven't seen a lot of this. Manx holding a bit further back. The repositioning could be awkward at times. Wolfie's on the angle. Ooh, just before the flash bloom. He collects. And now they realize how many bodies are here. Ooh, Wolfie dancing with death right now, but somehow coming out on top. He's leading. There's the swing back in. Damage from Swisher. Kills in from Manx.
Wow.
And just like that, not a body loss. They all stay alive. They all survive. And M80 are back to their winning ways.
What a shutdown towards the B side. I mean, admittedly, Unjustified have been leaning there quite heavily round after round, and M80 eventually said, okay, well, let's just set up for it. 3 players here. Wolfie with the op doing the majority of the damage, but the IGL Manx getting in the mix as well with a couple, and there you have it. As decisively as it all started, that 4-round run, that is, it ends with an M80 6th round victory, and they hang on to the lead, something that Unjustified has not seen yet in this map. Wolfie going around towards mid, having a peek along with Rek, and nothing really too significant seen. And Wolfie backs off towards the apartments.
He's been just a monster with that AWP, man.
Yeah, he looks like a different player this season compared to last.
It's so much sharper, so much snappier. I mean, there's also the added chemistry of having, been with Swisher and Rek for a time. I believe he played with Manx for a time as well back in the day.
I think so, yes.
Is some existing chemistry, whereas before, I think he was a fresh face for both of them coming into the team. So it is very encouraging. Quick deal with this one. No problems in the eco. Not a body lost. And that's a great sign if you're an M80 fan, because now the money's back. They've got to buy and store regardless of what happens here, and they are well positioned to ride out the rest of this half. And no bomb plant either. It means this buy is going to kind of be stinky poo-poo for Unjustified. It's not great. It's all right. It's not great. Mac 10, Galils.
It's okay.
So if you would describe this as stinky poo-poo, what would you describe this as, John?
I would qualify this as slightly above stinky poo-poo.
Schmeh.
Yeah,
Schmeh?
Schmeh is good.
It's a schmeh by. Ooh, they missed the jump. See, these are the little things you got to get under for a new team. He's up on top of the half wall. Does he realize DJF is already forward? Doesn't have that information. This is going to be very risky. Wolfie should be able to pan, but if they double swing with a flashbang, this could be the perfect counter to Wolfie's position. It's all about the timing here for Unjustified. Opportunity on, flashbang on, but Wolfie's away. Nade, nicely read. Second one in. The second one finds a little bit more. HE's still fluky. Hit.
Oh, HE damage returned the other way. Seb going down to 40 here. And some good patience being shown on both sides, in fact, looking for, or I should say, Unjustified. Well, they
Wolfie.
will lose the first one, though. Wolfie, nice shot there onto Lake.
How many of these rounds has he had the opener?
A
How
lot.
many of these rounds?
I
So
mean-
confident right now with an op. It's looking like, do they really make this here? They left him out in no man's land. A flash comes back in to set him up, and Wolfie doesn't connect for once. All right. Actually, they're taking this space. Wolf in towards tree. This could be good. Swisher doesn't expect it. Doesn't expect it at all. So the bold move pays off, and suddenly we've got an even situation in the post plant. It's a great result for Unjustified. Can they close, though? Ooh, on top oranges. Get a little lucky that Rek had his gun away, but they should know where Wolf is. There's the tag on the... Oh, he's out of bullets! He's out of bullets! Oh, no! All on the Sam. Sam labored spray and won't even get the first. Damage doesn't matter here. The defuse is on. It was looking good, but Unjustified could not bring it home.
Oh, man, what a shame for Unjustified gaining so much ground. They're up banana onto the site, but the retake again for M80 is just a little too strong. Wolfie, 16-4. I mean, just lights out with the AWP right now, which is what we've come to expect since this M80 roster was, well, called M80 and taken away from ATK, but it's pretty unbelievable.
Well, John, this is an eco round, so I do have an exciting bit of news. There appears to have been an update for Counter-Strike 2.
Yes.
Not quite what people were expecting. Italy!
Right?
Italy is in. And also the disabled comp.
What?
It's just Italy, only in deathmatch and casual.
What? Why would they disable comp?
I don't know, but they did. I can only tell you that they did do that. And apparently they've changed the smokes as well.
Yes, I saw the smoke change. We'll get back into that as Wolf is going to get one here on the eco round for Unjustified, so a chance maybe for them to make some noise. Wolfie is at the B site. He's got the support of his IGL, and he hits the shot on the lake. Maybe the second. No, Seb gets the trade. Manx isolated now, and he gets two, maybe the third as well. No, he goes down as well. Now DJF a
Bombs
chance
down.
potentially to plant it. Yeah, he's got to go retrieve, but he's got the smoke to guys off vision from M80.
Sees there's a gap. Has the op now.
He could go back A as well.
Could. That would be ballsy. He could go through to A. Oh, cheeky boy. Does he commit to this? Is he gonna just get? He's gonna get caught from sight. Yep, caught from sight.
Oh.
Cheeky idea, creative thinking, maybe a little overly ambitious, but I like the idea. Still, the end result is a 9th on the board for M80. Not all of these have looked pretty. That last one in particular got a little out of hand, but they're still now have the opportunity for double digits at the close of the half.
Absolutely, yeah. That was a nice effort, though, by Unjustified into the round, unfortunately for them. And DJF, if he would have just gone a little bit faster, obviously didn't want to make noise, give away his positioning, but if he starts to step a little bit quicker towards that A site, then maybe he would have had a chance taking that round, but as it stands, quick engagement here towards mid. Lake goes down immediately. The trade comes through from Seb, and Seb makes it a 2K for in favor of Unjustified.
Rek getting aggressive, uncharacteristic there. He gets one, not able to secure the second on the spray, but Swisher will strike just in time to bring this into an even situation. 2 on 2 now. In the duels. Bomb ticking away. There are kits. Util set up to bring the space. Nades into pit, no one home to receive them. They are wary. Understandably so. Manx and Swisher going to need to make the move at some point here. Waiting for that site smoke to fade. Wary of the one-way. Fake flash on. Wolf finds the first, but now they should know where he is. But no, information not relayed in time, and that will send us to the half. Back into the action here in the second half, pistol underway. M80 and Unjustified squaring off here. And M80 with a tidy lead, but based on how messy some of those rounds were, this could have been a much closer affair. So there's still plenty of chance for Unjustified to make a real game of this one. Whoa, starting off nicely. Good shot, Surgical, but he only does get the one. Lake looking for some more on the site, and he will not have it. Wreck with a nice two-piece, and now the bomb down puts the remaining members of Unjustified in a tough retake. There is some utility to make it happen. 2 flashes and a smoke. But I don't believe there's a kit, unless there's one down on site I'm not aware of. So time is of the essence here. Here comes the move. Smoke to isolate some of these fights, but the Graveyard player's got to be a problem. Can still set up the crossfire. Flashes are in, but the bodies start to drop. Rack with bullets down range, and it's over. Wolfie comes in for the last 2, and M80 find their double digits after all.
Oh, what a shame for Wolf, though. Honestly, he had that first one, clinical shot, and then the second one, not as much. He couldn't connect on that head and eventually goes down. If he gets 2 there, different round, of course, but once he goes down, his teammate Lake is isolated on the site proper, just gets completely overloaded by those Glocks close range. And that's the round pretty much in favor of M80. Like you mentioned, they hit double digits first. And that's the perfect start for them. Thought they would hit double digits at the end of that first half, to be honest with you. But it's just a nice little play by Unjustified to get things done. 3 MAC-10s, an AK, and a Galil bought up by M80 this round. Building off.
This is kind of a neat detail on. So they're doing the full A stack, right? The crossfire here.
Yeah.
With the boosts. Well, not the boost, but basically all guns point in the same angle. But if you're fake at B beforehand, which you don't see a lot of teams do, there was a smoke top banana. And it doesn't appear to have fooled M80 very much.
I don't know. We'll see. They're leaving Wreck behind. No, they haven't been fooled at all. Wreck's waiting here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and almost the ace. Cyrix survives with 51 HP. Maybe he'll be able to do some more damage. Oh, almost. And there we go. He finds himself a second.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, that was nifty. Mobs thought he was about to give himself a tasty eco. Suddenly he's got the business end of USP. I mean, look, if Cyrix can keep this Galil alive, that's something at least. That's something. Manx might go hunting. But Manx is also thinking to himself, it would really be nice to keep 3 alive here. Not have to deal with, our economy being on tenterhooks this entire game. We know they're buying in the next round regardless of what happens here, because they just had USPs in this one. So let's not die willy-nilly.
Yeah. Just surrender the Galil, I'd say. At this point, there's no point in throwing guns away. Like you said, their economy is not that great. Yes, they're going to have enough to buy up AKs in this round should they want to, but they'd rather keep what they've got in their hands and make it work for another round.
Understandable.
Yeah, and Unjustified, well, they get a free rifle.
Justified. It is something. Still, as we saw in the first half, it was all about those opportunities, right? Those opportunities to break them. And it took Unjustified a couple of them to find the right chain of rounds. Once they got off, once they got going, 4 in a row. But don't have that kind of luxury this time. Yeah, fumble and fit. You got to get going right now in the gun round if they're going to make something of it here on Inferno. And I believe, just going to double check the video again, I believe this is Unjustified's pick. It is indeed, yeah. Vertigo will be our second map, picked by M80. Nuke will be our decider if we get to it.
Yeah.
Nice opener from Mobs. Quick swing. Nice flash. Nice kill. And suddenly things are looking a little scary for Unjustified.
Yeah, if you look at Unjustified's map pool, I think Ancient was removed in the bans at the beginning, so the next map they would go to is, of course, Inferno, which is their top map, played 5-2 over the last 3 months, the plus 33 round differential. That's against not the same type of competition.
Spots it. First kill in the trade is there, and now big trouble on for DJF. What do you do here? You get deleted. Headshots on there from Mobs. He is merciless. The Guatemalan headhunter himself coming through. And he's already eager to get going on the hunt. Wolf and Cyrix just want to cling to their guns. The 12th round has already been conceded. M80 will have double their opponent's scoreline, but it's about keeping his rifles alive to give them any chance of fighting forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Wolf and Cyrix just going to tuck themselves into the A site. M80 might hunt a little bit more this time with Mobs and Wolfie having a bit of cash in reserve. But they're still going to be cautious, as they should be, because they want to keep it healthy. They don't want to have to throw anything away unnecessarily. And interesting to see for M80, at least, that Swisher only 9 frags, but the whole team is so strong, right? In terms of fragging ability, they might be one of the strongest in NA ECL right now. Just Wolfie with the op. I mean, you see him at 19. Rek, who we've talked about before, not the flashiest of fraggers, but he's a fantastic anchor and can rack up the numbers. Then you have Malbs, who's just coming into his own with this roster immediately. In fact, had an impact and leads the squad with the most frags of anyone else at 432, like I mentioned before. So, I mean, Manx has so much firepower to work with. And even when one player might be having a slow day, the rest can pick it up easily. 12-6. Here comes Unjustified with the 3 A1Ss, the AWP, and the FAMAS. A nade connects onto Malbs and Rek. As Rek was trying to get into the room, he does make his way through, and Swisher through the smoke gets DJF, but the nade trades him out.
That's well done. That's well done from Sev. They needed something out of that. It was looking tough. But the HE manages to collect still. Made he smell blood in the water, right? The player was isolated. They're not quite going to be quick enough to catch him fully isolated. Cyrix trying to come in for support. The smoke should buy enough time. You see the bomb on Manx? This might have been revealed. But actually, if they just go through, there's no one actually playing sight. This is a problem. The site's lost. The bomb's going down. There's nothing that Unjustified can do about this. Even a deep Molotov to delay the retake. Rex here on the flank. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Wolf's giving it up. They have no idea. Rex in the back line. And he might just live up to his name here. He might just get this retake done before it even starts. Shaky on that one, but he still winds up with 2. And so now the reinforcements, the Vanguard is gone. It's all about Seb. He missed the player in pool. He's spotted. Oh, no. A little too late and wide on the crosshair. That one, unfortunately for Unjustified, never gets off the ground in the retake. And that, now they're starting to get into the death spiral here, John. Things are not looking good.
No, not at all. They got the full loss bonus, but they can't justify buying up. It's unjustified. Yeah, it wasn't an intended pun, but it happened anyway. Now they're going to go for a half buy, which is going to feature 3 Deagles, the 5.7 and the MP9, but M80 just had them at every turn. Rek almost got CSGO'd there, honestly, because his crosshair was perfectly placed.
Looked like it.
And the bullet just went wide. It was just RNG, honestly. Then he hits the second one, no problem, and recovers quickly. So good on him. And in any case, even if he goes down, I'm not sure if Unjustified would have had success in that round just because how much control M80 had. Nice nade. Ooh. DJF down to 12.
My guy's limping. Got a hitch in his step from that one. And look, we're not expecting much out of this round, but we have seen some nifty Deeg work, so if ever there were a time, it's the time. A-site's been wrapped upon. You have Lake in the library, but he needs to make it work, otherwise his teammates might just be dead. Cyrix collects one, only one. Tag with the Deeg as well. Cyrix, he's got a good Deeg, but through the smoke, Wolfie finds Lake, and with that, any hope of this turning into something magical, well, the magic's dissipated, and Seb's got a set of armor to save.
Yeah, I mean, DJF could probably hunt a little bit. Ever since he had that 2K on T side to get the opening frags, he hasn't found anything, I don't think. He's stuck at 6. But he's just going to hang around, save the $700.
I think he's hoping
hope that someone hunts.
Yeah, they're just waiting to see if a gun falls in their lap. M80's been a little overzealous with some of the hunting, but I think maybe they realize that, and they're back to a reasonable amount of zealous. Swisher, get in the pit. Get in the corner. Get in here, fella.
Yeah, they're all fine. Planted back of a site, so they're safe. Staying in pit. The corner, anyway. 14-6 for M80. This is a stark contrast to what happened last time these two teams were on Inferno. It was more one-sided. I don't want to say more one-sided. It was slightly one-sided. M80 winning 16-10, but this is a very different story. There's still time. Still time for Unjustified to get back into it. They've got a buy up here, but it has to obviously happen right now.
I will say, for M80, we've still seen some of the bumps that you expect with a new team. Some of the little moments, you know, where maybe two people aren't quite on the same page with timing. But for the most part, it's looked good. And obviously, the individual firefighters are looking very good, as Rek will handily demonstrate to underscore my point. Just ripping ahead from shoulders. Rek's been, I mean, look, Rek was good on the first half. We expect that as that sort of reliable presence in pit, but he's been great as their A-lurk as well here. Now on the T side. So much damage now. Swisher! Somehow. Echo locates back in. Nearly gets himself the second. Someone check him, PC.
Oh.
Well, Rek will get caught. It's looking dire. They need to mount this retake. I mean, you can't. Oh, it's a tough situation. They've got no money. They have to save here, but it's such a dire situation. They're going to be trying to play for 9 rounds in a row.
It's just so hard to get back in at this point, and now there's no time. They haven't gained enough ground. I think they're just trying to get DJF out of this position, and, well, he has escaped, even though he only has a deagle, but I think there's some guns on the ground for him to potentially recover and bring it to the next.
Armor
anyway,
too.
Yeah, but, I mean, it's so dire. 15-6. They need quite a few rounds in a row just to get back into this one. 9 to be precise. And it just doesn't feel like it's happening the way M80 are playing. And talking about Rek, right? He's just such a great player. Like you mentioned, anchoring down sites. He plays the lurk role on T side. You don't need to have anyone around him. He can perform by himself, and that's why he thrives in those types of roles. Very individually skilled.
Die time for Unjustified. All on the line, or we're headed to Vertigo. It's a map that's starting to shape up nicely for M80. Ecstatic like to play a lot of it, but makes calling as well, as I recall. Wolfie gets the opener again, as he has so often, climbing to 21-6. What a map for this guy.
Jeez.
Feels unkillable at times. Swisher trying to take the space, but that's awkward. Very awkward. Rek gets one for one. Might not be good enough. They've got the A site. What a play from Malbs. Jumping through the smoke. The madman delivers. And so a bomb plant guaranteed. A 2-on-2 here. And for DJF and Seb. Do or die. Already had some good impact into this round, but now a really tough retake. No smokes, no mollies, a single flashbang. At least they have kits, but you can tell they're milling about here. They're a little indecisive. Now they're going to play the smoke fade and pray. They're creeping in off that fade. Time is so precious, so short. DJF collected. The trade is there, and Malbs able to secure it with the last. And that is a dominance performance from M80. The thing that is craziest about that is that, again, especially in that first half, especially in the early rounds, we saw a lot of rounds where it wasn't all perfect. There were bumps, there were bruises, there were misplays, there were miscomms. But they're already clicking. They're already firing. And Unjustified are in the firing line right now, John.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I think the problem for Unjustified as well is that their 2 top fraggers